Are you guys actually tired of? Let me actually give you a scenario. You're trying to draw something, more specifically anime, because that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And from your reference, it looks easy. And when you try to execute it, it just doesn't come out how you want it to come out, no matter how much you look at it. Well, I've got a solution for you today, guys. I think I just found like the perfect method. Well, probably not the perfect method, but a really good method for drawing an anime character properly. So, how about we get into it? And this little pose I have on the side here, we'll try and replicate that afterwards. I got it from Pinterest, of course. So, let's actually get into it. So, the best way to start is, unironically, with the head. Well, you'd want to start with the action line, but for this situation here, we're gonna just start with a straight down pose. We're gonna get to this in a second, but first it's important that we understand the anatomy of the anime body. So let's try and get into it. So I don't know why I'm drawing with green. My apologies. So we start off with a box. Oh, he's using the box method. Wait. I promise, guys. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I swear. So then you put in a neck. So the best way to say how long the neck is would be about halfway of the face, to be the neck. So this is where we're gonna branch off from the box method just a bit. We are still gonna be using a box afterwards, but let me show you. You're actually going to draw in a circle that's roughly the same size of the box. So it's a bit smaller, but that's fine. So we got the circle. Now what do? Now we draw another circle that's roughly the same size of the last circle, which is roughly the same size as the box. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm telling you. You can even make it bigger. And now what we're gonna actually do is put this top one in a box. That seems strange, I know, but trust me. Trust me. Okay, trust me. Now what we're gonna do at the bottom of this bottom circle, we're gonna find the middle or wherever you want the crotch to be, depending on how you pose the character. But in this case, it's the middle. And now we're gonna draw almost like a bikini is the best way to put it. Boom. Insane, I know. Now, what we're gonna do from the middle here of both lines, you just come out. I think it could like go a bit more than this line here. So right here, I'll put like a little ball to signify like the edge of it. That's gonna be like the biggest part of the hip. It won't get bigger than that. And of course, draw the legs down. Now, if I remember correctly, the legs would be about the same length as the upper body. So let's see here. From here to the foot, we're gonna bring it up. Because she's a bit slanted, it's a bit shorter, but you get the idea. And of course, my character is a bit big for my screen, so I'm just gonna bring it up. So, just kind of replicate that. It don't have to be exact. Usually the body would be around 7 to 8 heads tall for an adult, but in anime, and more specifically this style, I find that sometimes the head could even be like less. So let me actually try and demonstrate this. I'm not sure if you're picking up the sound of my the sound of my drawing tablet. So I guess this is also an ASMR video, which kind of works horribly with me. My voice isn't suited for that. 1, 2. I'm trying to make it as evenly as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's obviously not it. 6. Yeah, but they're a bit curved, so it'll be like 6 to 7 heads tall. And when we compare this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's around the same thing. So you want the legs to be around the same length as the upper body. Of course, it varies from person to person and how you're drawing the character. And now in between, let's get back on track. Now in between the legs, this is where the knee is gonna be. Right? So you're gonna like draw down some lines, drawing the lines from the ball, not from like here, like from the ball that we already took out. And this is actually why I made a box up here. Is because that's kind of where the shoulders would be roughly. The shoulders would roughly be within this little triangle that was made here. It could be a bit bigger. It depends. The neck is a bit off centered, but that's fine. Like, you could always edit it, make sure it's right. Let's make sure this box is also not. You want to make sure all the squares are roughly even. So you could use like the box tool or something to actually get it even. That's not. I just don't like to do that. But yeah. So from the middle here, where this box ends and where the circles ends and this where the circle starts, that's gonna be where the elbows are. And roughly, I won't say halfway through the tie, but like right here, a bit over halfway from the tie. That's where the palms would be. I mean, it could actually be at the end here. Let me actually just clean up all this extra stuff so you won't start to get confused. I hope it's not confusing. I hope I'm talking about it well. So we could draw some lines down to actually signify where the hand's gonna be. Now that's like the basic construction. Now we get into actually making the body. So let's get rid of all this extra stuff on the side here. Let's get rid of all this extra stuff. So we could just have the body. And what I usually like to do is lower the opacity of my brush. I usually erase with the round brush. And just like lower the opacity of the body just a bit. Right, so now we're getting into it. So for the neck, you just curve it like this. And the shoulders will go bump up a bit. That's the shoulders. And now from here, remember how I made it a box? Well, it's also to kind of represent what muscle is this? This the lats, So you're gonna come from here, not from here, but from here. Boom, to around the center line. You don't want to bring it all the way to the center. That won't look too right, but it's all about what you want to draw. But in this case, it's a bit different. So from here, you actually go all the way here to the edge of the bikini line that we made earlier. Boom. Now, for the legs, they kind of bump out a bit. It also helps to like draw it as a circle. So you could even come back and put it like that if you really want to. This is gonna be what's it called? I'm horrible at giving tutorial, guys. I'm sorry. I can't even remember what that's called. But yeah. So we're gonna come out here, gonna dent out the furthest here. These lines should actually be further out, so I'm sorry for the mistake. But you know what? Actually, let's change it. Rest in peace to people who are drawing traditionally. But yeah, a bit further out. So it bumps out here, and then it comes back in, And same thing with the inner thigh. It like bumps out, and then it comes in like this. Same on the side, bumps out, come in. It reaches the edge here. It bounces out, and it comes in. Right? I do think I probably made the legs a bit too long. Maybe I just suck at anatomy. Anyone could correct me in the comments if that's the case, because I realize the knees are a bit more up. But I was just doing a rough measurement. So it's fine, I guess. Make the leg a bit more clean, I guess. And now the lower foot, you're gonna just bump out a bit, like gradually come out like this. And then go in. On this side, it might be straight. This is if the leg is like to the side. But if it's to the front, then you will see the next bump as well. So do the same with the next side. I'm kind of rushing it, so maybe it might look a little bit wonky. But if you take your time with it, it'll look good. For the feet, I like to do this thing, like let's say this is the edge here. Let's say that's the edge. I would like put a heel, like a kind of heel, and from this line I'll come out like this, come out like this, and like curve it down, just to signify that the feet are going forward. Of course, you could put it more to the side, however you want it to be. So, you know. So we're doing that. Boom. So that's the feet. And now the arms. I know it's looking quite wonky right now, but trust, guys. Trust. 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 So yeah. Got the arms. Little cylinders. And then you got the next arms. Yeah, I knew I kind of messed up with the anatomy somewhere. I don't know where, but kind of did. Those are some huge arms. So, well, this isn't even where I actually put it. I said it will be around here, right? I even have this line here. So yeah, around there, that's where your hands would be. I'm not gonna get in how to actually draw, like, the individual fingers. That'll take way too long. But I will get into how to actually draw an anime head, because I always found that difficult. So we've actually reached that stage to draw the anime head. Let's actually just put in like a belly button. This is not how the figure is gonna look. This is just a rough. When we go over it and kind of refine it and put in more details, it'll look more like anime character. But other than that, let's continue on. So the square I had for the head is a bit off-centered from the neck. So I'm just gonna take it across, and just put it right there. Just to make it a bit more centered. I may even bring it down a bit. The neck might be a bit too long. If the tutorial is unclear, please let me know in the comments. If anybody will go in the comments or even watch the video. Yeah, so we're starting off with the head here. Straight up, just draw a line like this. Now you want to go up like this. Almost, I don't want to put it in degrees, that could confuse people, but follow your heart basically. No, you could probably even make an X shape like this and probably get the face shape, So you do the same on the next side. And now you, from halfway through the lower box, you change the angle to go more upwards. The head is actually quite wide. I made it quite wide, but of course if you're on digital, you could edit it till it's the size you want it to be. And on the top here, you would end it off. You'd realize even though the box is there, the head is going over the box, because it's really just like a guide for the rest of the body. Because even though the body is like 6-7 heads tall or whatever it is, this top part won't really matter. It's going to be covered by here, unless if you're drawing someone with a bald head, then you might want to make the head a bit smaller to make it look a bit more realistic. But yeah, with all the hair, no one's really gonna look as if the head is too big or too small. So this is what we have so far, but let's actually make it a bit better. I'm going to erase these lines here. A lot of erasing, really. That's what it comes down to. So we're erasing all of this again, and let's make it a bit better. So for the neck, it's gonna come down like this. Then you'll have the same curve line here going out. I don't much like how these shoulders are kind of in, so I'm gonna bring it out a bit. Same with the neck side. Bring out the shoulders a bit. Now the collarbone, you'll come from the middle here, go a bit to the side, and then you're going up to around here of the shoulder. The collarbone is not straight, so you want to keep that in mind. You're gonna curve it like this. I like to put a little extra line here to signify, yeah, that's the collarbone, because the collarbone is not just a line, it's also, well, it's its own form, it's its own shape, so we want to keep that in mind. So we got that. Now let's go into the arm. Boom. I mean, this shape could kind of stay the same. It doesn't matter too much. This shape, however, we want to refine it a bit. So we're gonna come in. We're gonna come in here, and then from here we're gonna push out to make that forearm bump that we also know and love. And on the opposite side, there would be a forearm bump, but I think it's a lot less pronounced, at least in this pose. Then you come down. I'm not gonna sort out the hands. We're just gonna leave it as oven mitts for now. Not even oven mitts, just circles. Same with the next side. Come down. You're going in here a bit, and then you're coming out with that forearm bump. Going down. Next side, kind of the same thing. Forearm bump is kind of small, but it's fine. That's what we got. Now we got the body, which needs some refinement. So we're gonna go in like this and not go in all the way. So we're gonna smoothen it out like that. Come out like this. See what I mean? Then go out like this again. Usually there is a bump there from the legs to the torso. That little bump. There's that bump. And it could change depending on fat distribution and all that, but we're not gonna get into that. So this here that we made here, we're gonna actually not go to the edge here. We're gonna go up like this. You'd actually see this in a lot of anime characters. They have this line. I guess I shouldn't be qualified to teach anyone if I don't know the anatomical terms, but this is really a beginner's guide on how to draw the anatomy of an anime character. And of course, after this, I'm going to try and replicate that drawing we have on the side there to show you the application. And afterwards, after that, I'm going to just on the fly, just make something up out of my imagination without, any reference, just to see how well it holds up. A proper pose. Now, for the chest, if it's a woman, I suppose this is important to teach. A lot of people actually draw more anime girls than guys, but there are different ways of drawing it. One way, depending on the size, you could just come out here with the circle that we had before. You see the circle still. You could draw a line down the middle, and then draw a line going up like this at the bottom of the circle. That's kind of to signify the what do they call it? The rib cage, and know that the female chest rests upon the rib cage. It depends on how big the chest is. Sometimes it could go over or rest completely on it. So you'll want that to be reflected within the shape that you're going here. So when you're drawing across to make the chest, you're not going to draw straight across. You will draw with this line because of the form. Then you come up here to the neck, boom. It looks weird now, but trust, guys, trust. Boom, boom. Now, if it's closed, you could keep that, but you'll come around here and just stamp out. That'll be the end of the chest. And of course, it's not pointy like this, so it's just a guide. So erase it, go back and put in the actual proper shape. And here, some people might draw a line all the way across, but I would just like to put a line through the middle just to signify that it's there. Now, this is a small chest, but if it was bigger, my approach would change. Depending, I could draw something like this, like these. I'm sure you've seen this in a tutorial before. If you've watched tutorials on drawing anime, that they would use almost a kind of bikini top to do it. I would sometimes do that if I'm lazy, but also what could help is to draw the actual form So let's say the chest starts from here, goes out like this. That's a plane on top. There's a top plane and a bottom plane. Let's show the bottom plane. Boom. And follow, depending on how big it is, you won't have to follow that line. It might overlap the line. So I'll actually demonstrate that now. Again, pointy. It's like Lara Croft in her old games. Boom. Come out. Go down. Boom. Boom. Something like that. Now, of course, it looks weird because I'm trying to draw it like normally if they don't have on like clothing that would make it tight, because the female chest isn't naturally like together like this, unless if it's really big. It's not naturally together like how you would see it like this. That comes from clothing, from bras, or whatever the case may be. So after a while, you kind of get good at eyeballing it. I'll just put back in the normal one. And when I said it look weird, I don't mean they look weird. It's just not what you will typically see in like a lot of anime drawings. But I guess it's a style. It depends on how you want to do it. So now we kind of have the whole anime body. I'm gonna erase these lines here. Not really important. The belly button is kind of important, even if you're gonna erase it later. I find it to be kind of important, so we're gonna put it in. It actually, what I've seen in lots of animes is that the belly button shape depends on the size of the character. Like if it's just a slender female that we're drawing right here, it would be something like this, right? And they may even like put these lines so this is just like where they're facing and all that stuff. What I realized, like if it's someone with a bit more fat on them, the belly button would actually flip on its side and be something like this. But again, I mean, it's your choice how you want to draw it, it's always your choice. So yeah, we got that. Boom. It's kind of the anime body. And bonus tip on how to draw the face, just a full crash course tutorial. So you find the halfway line. It'll be a bit higher because the head is a bit bigger than the box that I outlined. You could actually fit the whole head inside the box. I just thought it would be better if it was bigger. I just didn't think the box was suitable. So you find the halfway line for the face. Around there, kind of around the same thing with the box. Now you pop the ears at the top of that halfway line, going down to like where this first angle change happened. That will kind of be where the ears are. It could be smaller. Again, it depends on how you want to draw them, how the face would look. Also, let's round out the face a bit more. And if you think the face is a bit too big, well, if the head is a bit too big, I find that my heads usually are too wide. You could just, well, not that, get the tool, make it thinner. My tool is kind of weird, so it sometimes glitches out. Right, so you got the face. Well, not the face, the head. You're gonna go from the halfway point between the halfway point, so around here. That's roughly where the nose is gonna be, Could actually be higher depending on the age of the character. I actually usually like to put it higher just to signify they're a bit younger. Like early adults or teens, and halfway between the nose and the chin, a bit more up to favoring the nose would be the mouth. You could just draw 2 lines for now. There's many different ways to draw the mouth, and that would require its own tutorial. Now for the eyes. This is actually quite tricky. Tricky. The thing is, in real anatomy, I find in real anatomy the top of the ears would line up with the eyebrows. But obviously this is quite small. And it just doesn't seem right. So what you could do is move up the ears. But usually what I tend to do is actually this. Remember that the face is a circle, a sphere. Well, not the face, the head is a sphere. So I kind of cheated. And that is kind of where my eyebrows would be. Or it could even be higher depending on the expression of the character. But how to draw the eyes? Because I know a lot of people get this wrong. And I know a lot of people, like, in real life, the eye, like, you would see people tell you draw it like this. Or maybe in and other anime tutorials they might say draw it like how do they say the draw it like a almond, something like this. That's more for like semi-realistic stuff. But I'm not sure if anyone has ever used this method I'm about to use. I just like came up with it, but if anyone ever used it before, then well, they get the credit. So, and I'm so confident in doing it. Like, it's so easy to follow that I'm gonna do one eye at a time, a cardinal sin in drawing faces. But yeah, so I start off with a flat line at the bottom, and then when you go up to the top, I make that shape, the shape. And then I come here and round it out at the side here. So I'm gonna do the same on the next side. The eyes would be the same if you get it level and have the same size, and well, follow it on both sides. I'm just gonna put in this eye here as a placeholder, you know. Now, usually, the eye, in between the eye, would be an eyes apart. But anime eyes are actually quite big. Well, again, depending on the style you want. So it could be quite big, it could be quite small. So it depends. It's a stylized representation of real life. So it doesn't have to be perfect proportions. Because if it was perfect proportions, then it would just be real life. And well, that's not what we're going for here today, now is it? So I like to draw the eyes a bit closer to each other. I think one side of the face is a bit wrong. So this is actually the first time I'm flipping the canvas. Give me a second. Yeah. So, wait, where's my flip button? It's usually down here. What's going on, guys? Oh, there it is. Right. It's kind of off, but whatever. Nobody cares. No, I think it's important we fix it a bit. So I'm just gonna bring this in a bit. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. So whatever. I would probably fix that afterwards. Now, when drawing the eye, I might actually make this bigger, and you're gonna see why. Because this top line that I've drawn here actually is not the top of the eye. It's kind of weird, I know, but okay, that's actually quite big. I might just leave it. I'll just leave it. So what I'm gonna do at the side of this, I'm gonna put out a line like this. It's already looking kind of weird, but from here, I'm going to draw a curved line, kind of following the curve of this line to this line instead. So I'm not gonna follow this curve. I'm gonna go underneath it like this. You see what I did there? So, and now that line that I put out could become a lash, like an eyelash. Then you can make a next eyelash. And then at the bottom here, this eraser is way too big. I would erase this line a bit. I'd erase here. Come like that. Put back in the line. Put in that line. And what you would notice is this original line that we had before, if I erase a bit of it, it actually becomes the eyelid. Not everyone has eyelids, but usually I would put it in. So it becomes the eyelid. And this shape could change, of course. You could edit it however you want. But I will keep it like this. You could even make this bottom shape here, even though it's a flat line. You can make it a curved line. You'd see that more in anime. And boom, we got an anime eye. Would you look at that? So now we're gonna just put in the eye. Put in whatever else that is. So we got the eye going there. I'm just gonna put in some lashes or whatever. And now for the next side. How will I replicate it, guys? No worry, just follow I'll just follow what I did before. Going up like this. It's kind of hard to do. Like my hand kind of sucks at at drawing these curves. Boom. Just gonna end this here. Make this line smaller. Probably curve it like the other one, just to make it look more symmetrical. Put in the actual eye itself, and from this line before, that's gonna be the eyelid. Boom. As you can see, the eyes not crossed but two spaced. So I'm gonna fix that. That's not a part of like the drawing eye tutorial I just gave. You kind of just want to eyeball where the eyes would be. You'd always want to zoom out to make sure it looks good. Make sure it doesn't look kind of off. So I'm just gonna put it in a bit. Boom. And then put in the eyebrows. Why am I not getting eyebrows? Okay. Put in the eyebrows where that line was. You could heighten it, lower it. Again, it's an anime face. What matters is not the anatomy. I mean, the anatomy, of course, it does matter. It's also the appeal of the character. You want it to be appealing. So we take some liberties. And this line that I brought all the way down here, you don't usually see that in anime. So I would erase that line and then just end it here. Even probably put another lash like out here. Something like that. Just something fast. And I think the eyes are a bit spaced. Even a bit small. That's why earlier I said to make it a bit bigger. So I'm actually gonna make the eyes bigger. Again, rest in peace to anyone who's drawing traditionally and watching this. I'm so sorry. Boom. I'm actually gonna try and bring the eyes a bit together as well. I think they're a bit too spaced out. Boom. And there we have it. I'm not gonna get into how to draw the hair, whatever. So this is like basic anime body. I'm not sure if I came up with this method. Obviously I know of the box method and using circles, but I kind of combined the two to make it easier. Now what I'm gonna do, before I actually get into this, I would actually decide to do my own drawing without a reference. And I'm gonna put some perspective in it because I think it's important that we understand the perspective, because yes, from straight on it is just normal squares, circles. But when you put perspective into it, it becomes cubes and spheres. So let's actually get into it. I'm just gonna make up a random pose. So I don't know. I'm gonna put the head here. Same old box. Differences now. Let's just put in the neck. I'm gonna bend the neck a bit. And now I'm gonna be showing the top of the box. The box itself for the body, it's not too thick in the back. You want to remember that. It's like this. I mean, probably not that thin. I'm just a demonstration, but you know, it's like that. So we'd want to draw it accordingly. So let's try it. From here, from the back of the neck, the lines are quite nervous. So yeah, boom. Doing that, boom. Now, because it looks like if it's going in perspective, like back here is a vanishing point, we're going to make here bigger than here. You want to keep that in mind when you're drawing the body, depending on like the proportions you want. Now you're going to make a box, a regular smuggler box. When drawing straight on, I would draw the circle first, but when drawing in perspective, I would draw the box first, and you could just follow up with the circle afterwards. Well, I guess it's a sphere now, but we're not going to be shading it, so it still looks like a circle. Now, I mean, honestly, I should be putting in an action line first, so I'll just put that in, just to signify where the torso would be. Not torso, the hips, I guess. I don't know. So we're gonna make another circle about roughly the same size, maybe even a bit smaller, depending on the perspective. If the ball is underneath that top ball, it'll look smaller because it's overlapping. So I'll just do it normally. A little bit of overlap. Boom. Now remember, depends on how I want the legs to go, but I'll put it like here. I'll draw, boom, something like that. Then you get the line here, the bikini line. Now you come out with the legs like this. Now what pose will I give the legs? I honestly don't know. I think I'll just go with something simple. The balance might be a bit off, but it's fine. It's just that you understand the perspective, because that's what this part is about. Because honestly, the perspective of the legs and arms, yes, they change. I think it's more important to understand the perspective of the torso, because everything connects to that. If it's wrong, then it's gonna be wrong. So we're not actually gonna draw the ball out here. We're gonna draw it in here. So boom. Not really escaping the box. Same on the next side, but it escapes the circle because perspective. It may even escape the box. I don't know. I'll have to see. Boom. So we got that. I won't draw the hand in any crazy. I said I won't draw it in any crazy perspective, but it looks like I'm gonna be doing that. But we're not gonna get into that right now. Just gonna put this arm here. Put this arm like behind the torso. I don't know. Maybe they're holding some kind of cool weapon or something. But yeah, that's what we got. Now, center line for the head. I have the head facing straight on. I'm actually going to change that just to demonstrate how to draw the head from a different angle. I like drawing the head straight on, but I think it's important I demonstrate it. So yeah, I'm going to draw another box. The head is kind of like looking up. So, and we are in a upwards kind of perspective. So you won't really see the top or the bottom of the box. You'll just kind of see the side, something like this. And at the side, you're going to follow this same line. Boom. Come across like this. Boom. Then bring a line in between the side of the box straight down. Boom. Again, I mean, it's really a trial and error kind of thing. Sometimes I think my box is a bit too big. Embarrassing. Yeah, I think it's a bit too big. But of course, that's kind of the beauty of digital art. Things are easily fixed like that. So, boom. We got the head. And my little circles for the arms. So let's just fill in the arms now, connecting them from the ball of the shoulder. Yeah, it'll be a bit different. The form line would actually be in front like this. Probably come down like that. I'm drawing it really fast, so the arms might be wrong. But I guess this part is more showing how to draw the torso, like the box of the torso. But I'll still try my best to make it look right. Voice crack. So sorry. Boom. So we come in here. The body is not a box, of course. So it's not gonna go like this. It's gonna curve in like this. Bump out like that. Because the body is a bit overhung. Like you don't see all of the body. It may look weird at the side like this. So boom, put this in here. And I think it's important, of course, to put in a line signifying that the torso is leaning over. Because if not, if the body would not look right. It still doesn't look right. Have I made a mistake? Should I restart? I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We'll actually see where it goes, guys. But yeah, it's leaning over like this. So I'm gonna make sure that's kind of prominent. Boom, with the legs from here, in and out. I mean, that wasn't really, it's out and in, out, in. Yeah, it doesn't really start from here because it's from the side, so it's kind of coming from the back. That will kind of be the butt. So you do the line, then the sign. Out, then in, out, then in. Then something like this. Just, I don't know, put in some fingers or something, I don't know. Right. Now, yeah. Just gonna actually just erase this. Again, if it's a woman, just come like this. I'd rest on the rib cage. Might even just do the method I was kind of showing before. So it's kind of different when it's on the side. You'll come to the side of the box here, put the line here, this line, so something like that. And then, you know, draw this in, then out like that. Erase this line, erase that line. Something like that. That's kind of off, in my opinion. So, boom, boom. Just enjoy some of the ASMR from my drawing tablet, because I actually don't know what to say right now. Right now the face, which is important to understand from the side. So let's get that center line. I'm gonna go to the edge of the box here, not all the way to the edge really, just some like this. Next side, same thing. You go up like this. Come down like that. Boom. Then when you're here, a bit over halfway through this first box, you dip in, then quickly dip back out, right, like that. The face looks quite triangular right now, but we'll fix that in a minute. Then you come all the way up. Boom. Again, usually my head would go over the box, which could mean that the box is the wrong size, but I usually resize it after. Again, the Digital Art Pro. And then you're just gonna round it back out. Usually, like, you would see a dip here, and then actually let me erase this bottom line. You could see this, like, it'll dip out like this and then go like that. You could see that. Some would actually just go straight down. For me, it depends on how I'm feeling, to be honest. I would still like to make like a little chin bump at the bottom at least. Then go out. Boom. Of course, this head is off from the body. I'm not sure if there's actually a proper way to like make it line up well. I usually get it wrong, so I would edit the box. Again, doesn't really matter too much to me since I could just do that. But of course, there's someone who does traditional art and who might be following this tutorial. I could understand the frustration. This is my first tutorial YouTube video kind of thing, so please bear with me. I might think that this face is a bit too big even, but I'll leave it for now. Of course, could resize if I want. So from here, halfway from the midpoint here to the butt point, that'd be around where the nose is. You realize it lines up pretty well. This is where I like to draw the eyes, so I'd cheat it and draw up like this for that to be the eyebrows. Here would be around the mouth, a bit more up from the halfway point. So for the eyes, the same method that I did before, it actually works quite well with the side profile. I think I made this a bit wrong, actually. I think it's supposed to curve like this. So, something like that. So boom, you're drawing the same type of eyes I drew before. I'm going to draw it a bit bigger. Well, that's a lot bigger. Yeah, a lot bigger, but just to kind of show how it is. This eye, it's not going to, like, imagine where the nose is here. Like, bring it out a bit, and then you do this kind of curve motion. It's kind of where the eyebrows would be. You don't want this eye to go past that, you know. This next eye, it cannot go past the sideline. The sideline is like the side of the face, and the eye is not on the side of the face, so it should be within this realm here. So making the eyes really badly, I would say so myself, but I guess I'm kind of rushing this. So now you raise it a bit, put in the line, come down, so put in the next line, eyelashes, put in this line, I'll put that in after, curve this bottom line here, put in the eye, this line here would be the lid of the eye, erase this bottom part, then you go out like this, and like this, so if you think the eye is a bit weird looking, I think it's a bit too long, so I bring it in. Oh, changing all those little stuff. Same with the next side. Line here, line here. I think this method actually works really well with the side of the eye. Well, not this side, but like this 3/4 view, because this lash, it still comes out. So you can kind of get a feel for how the lashes should flow. Come like this, boom, boom. Make down here a bit curved. Erase this extra stuff. Nobody cares about that. Boom, boom. Right. I come to the side here. Just erase it. Put in the eyelid. Put in the eye. That. I think it's a bit off. I mean, you could kind of tell, but I didn't really take much time into making sure that they are equal. Of course, when you're drawing it, when you're doing your own drawing, you want to go through it slowly. I'm just trying to teach it quite quickly, but you could see the results even if it's a bit off. So, boom, come down like this for the, what do they call it? The collarbone. We're gonna erase all this extra stuff. I might make this line here a bit smaller just to emulates the slenderness of a female, like the average anime female body. So boom. What? Why is this so big? Come on, like this. Boom. Make this a bit smaller. Curve here. Come on, like that. Can I bring this down a bit? I think it's a bit off. Boom. Pump out. Pump out. I mean, do I have to go to join the legs? This isn't really what this part of the tutorial was really for, but boom, yeah, come up like that. Boom, come up like that. Finish the arm, I suppose. Alright, I just did that without any reference. Of course, with a reference, it would have been a lot better. I can't really say I'm a master of anatomy, so I would say that this section here, somebody just seems off to me. I don't know. You guys would probably figure it out, see what's wrong. I obviously still need some more practice because, like I said, I'm not saying I invented this. I don't think, because what I'm doing, it seems to like pick up from what a lot of other people would do. Some would go full box, some would go full circle. I'm kind of trying to mix them up, like just to make it more streamlined. So I'm not sure if I invented this, but I would say I did not really watch a tutorial on how to do it. I just came up with it. So in my mind, I invented it, but very well someone else could have already done it and made a video on it. Probably made a better video than me. This is quite botched, not gonna lie. But yeah, so that's what we got. Put in the collarbone, I guess. So yeah, that's what we got. Didn't really follow any reference. I could tell the face is off and whatever, but it's fine. It's just once you get the general idea. And now, to end this kind of tutorial thing off, I would try to be replicating what I see on the side here. I'm actually really bad at replicating art, so we'll see how it goes. I'll make this the circle, I mean the square more like a rectangle, just to make it a lot less like every time when I draw it, it just seems to be wrong. So I'm trying to follow what I see. Something like this. So boom, around the same size of the first square. Make a little circle. A bit bigger than the first square actually. Then I put in my circle, put in the next circle, put in this square. This bottom square could actually even be a trapezium where it's like this. If you want to simplify it more, because when you put in the line here, boom, 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 the bikini line, you could do this and it will come out to the edge. So you can make it as a trapezium. I should have mentioned that earlier, I'm sorry. But yeah, the leg is something like this, kind of comes out. This leg, it's like this, something like that. Circle, circle. This arm comes here, kind of goes out here. This arm comes down here, goes out like that. Right, so we have the basic kind of stick figure to draw it. So I'm gonna attempt to actually get it down good now. Let's start with the neck, not with the head. I'll come back to that. Again, first YouTube video. I'm actually already losing my voice. I don't know how people... I guess it's something you have to train. But yeah, this is hard, man. It's hard. But I was just thinking about making a video because, well, at least for me, it works pretty well. Of course, let me know in the comments if anybody watches, if it works well for them as well. If they think I could change anything. Because I know a little bit of anatomy, but not enough to like teach it. I think it's important to learn like the actual human anatomy, like real life humans, before you dive into doing like anime. Because everything we are doing here is just it's not building off, but it's kind of imitating real life, but in a more cartoony sense. Oh no, I called anime a cartoon. I'm gonna be persecuted. But yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. Boop doo doo. Bring up the sign here. Little belly button. Boom, the sign. This line that you bring down here, it could be the outer line of the leg, or it could not be. It depends, really. Let's bring down this line. This part is more about observation than anything else. And I really suck at like observation, like looking at something and like replicating it. I'm really, really bad at it. But what I found since I've discovered this technique, I find it a lot easier for me to actually be able to replicate something. It won't look exactly like the thing I'm replicating, which I'm fine with. I don't even want that in the first place. So, yeah. Now with this line, or this shoulder, come down. I think this is a bit long, and everyone could probably see that. So yeah. Boom. I'm not really putting too much time into the arms. I think this tutorial has kind of been more focused on the torso and maybe even the head. The appendages, I won't say they're easy to draw, but they're definitely easier to draw than the body. Because if you get the body wrong, then you get everything wrong, because you'll have to change around everything, make sure everything is good, make sure it's fitting. Of course, I'm not gonna draw the clothes. I suck at drawing clothes. I really need to like cut down on myself and start drawing it. So I'm trying to look at the face. It looks kind of to the side actually. So let's edit this. Bring it to the side line for the face. Bit of the side box we were talking about earlier. Alright, so I'm just gonna try and draw a face. Make these lines a bit lighter, just not to confuse myself. So from here, I think it actually should be down here. So you're gonna bring a kind of curve line. Could be straight, I don't know. But yeah, I usually curve it like this to here. Then you kind of bring it up to this line here. And then the ear would be here. and that last part there. I think that upper forehead looks quite weird, but but yeah. So again, my circle usually comes out of the box, which I'm fine with. Now you're gonna just take the box, line it up better. Looking at the face, yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm gonna just like bring this down, like a bit of a cross as well. Boom. I don't like the way this face is shaped, so maybe it really was the sign, not the sign that I drew earlier. So I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. This is why you kind of be clean with your sketches as well, because a mistake like that could have dire consequences. Right, so I'm actually gonna go with a more puffy face shape like this. Just make a little chin there. Sided face. Halfway from this line and this line, so around here. I might bring it up a bit. The character I'm drawing looks a bit younger. You just get a little derpy smile going. Right, so eye time. I'll try to actually make them even now. I have kind of been rushing the eyes, and that is never good when drawing anime. The eyes is kind of like, it probably is the most important part of the entire drawing. Anime, in anime at least, and even in actual like realistic portraits kind of drawings, the eyes are quite important. But it's a bit more important that the face, the entire face looks good for that. But yeah. Anyways, back to anime. Make this side bigger because it's closer to us. See, this is what I mean. Like, my tool kind of glitches out. Boom, boom. Come here. I'll try and make the eyes actually look good this time. The other two times, I think it looked quite mid. Not gonna lie. So, I'll try my best. Because this technique actually does work quite well from what I've seen. I think I draw better when I draw alone. Well, I am drawing alone, but like when I'm not trying to explain what I'm trying to do, I think it comes out better. But yeah, I'd even, if you think it's too small, I think it's too small, you could just like bring down this line. I think I'll bring it down. Make the eye a bit bigger. Like what this. Right. Side of the eye. Boom. Come up. Come down. I think the mouth's in the wrong place, so can I just bring it back a bit? I sometimes even bring down the eye because the closer the facial features are to each other, the cuter the character will look. Not, well, yeah, cuter, younger, something like that. Like the smaller the features are and the more spaced, the older they look. In anime, at least. I mean, that's even true in real life. Like the proportions for a baby's face in real life is a lot different from an adult's face. But yeah. Oh. Boom. It's from here. Collarbone, collarbone, boom, boom. Let's edit this a bit. I won't put too much detail in this part because I don't think it's necessary. Right, so we got the basic like shape. I think the head is actually a bit too small. So again, the magic of digital art, I'll make it a bit bigger just now. Yeah, erase a good portion of the body. Well, the outline, I mean. Before we continue, let's make the head a bit bigger. Of course, I was just drawing it really fast, but when I first demonstrated what is going on here, how to actually draw the anime body, I showed that you would measure it out, 7, 8 heads long. So make sure that you do that when you're actually going into a drawing. I didn't do it, just trying to move fast here. This video is already like approaching an hour, so just trying to move fast. So yeah, just delete all this extra stuff, and well, let's just finish this up. Oh my gosh, what? Yeah, let's just finish this up. A little curve there, bump here, another bump here, curve out, boom, boom. You might actually want to bring in this line a bit, even, it depends. Curve out. I'm not gonna do the feet. Don't think it's too important right now. Again, if you want a feet tutorial, okay, that sounds really weird. But if I'm not even that good at drawing feet, but yeah, if there's any other tutorials anyone wants, just put it in the comments. I'll try and get it. Tutorials on the anime body, kind of more specifically female anime bodies. I need to test this. I have not tested this drawing method on the male body, but I would assume it works well. Just take away a few things, and use more masculine lines instead of feminine lines, straight lines and stuff like that. I think it would work, but if it doesn't, I'll probably try and have to find a new way to do it. Boom. Boom. This line that I'm drawing that goes through the belly button up the body, I mean, I just like to put it in, but it'll follow the flow, the shape of what you're drawing. So before we had a ball here, because this is the rib cage, it's gonna come out like this. There isn't really a ball here like in your body. Like this ball represents your rib cage, and it would have like usually in usual tutorials, it'll have a smaller ball to represent like the pelvis, but this whole ball will represent the midsection and the pelvis. So there isn't really a ball here to curve out. So you would go in, and here you would actually curve out because that's where the pelvis. Like if it was like how they usually teach it, again, this method is a bit different. The ball would be here, so it would curve out here. So again, just trying to figure. Boom, boom, and there we have it. Of course, like I suck at drawing faces. It usually comes out better than this. Maybe it's because I'm talking and not concentrating that much. Like the face looks quite derpy. Like I don't like this face at all. And of course, if you guys slow down, you'll probably get it much better than me. Definitely will get it much better than me. But yeah, this is how I draw anime bodies. I've started doing this method like just last week. So it's very experimentational. But from what I've seen, it works pretty well, at least for me. This line, it's wrong. It's supposed to like kind of curve out like this, I would think. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, that's about the anime body. Again with the eye, let me actually try and demonstrate it better. Because I think the method is a good way of drawing the eye. You could probably even go more the almond shape, but I like to make this side here more straight. This is the eye. I think the body came out well. It's just the face that I was getting issues with, which is weird because I drew the face more than the entire body. But yeah, boom. Kind of trying to follow the top line there. Gotta do that. Erase. Can make the brush a bit bigger. Make the top eye, not eyelid, the eyelashes, make it more full. At least in the case of anime girls or anyone, you know, if they wear makeup or have thick eyelashes. Boom. Didn't really show bottom eyelashes because that's also a thing people have, you know. This hard brush actually really does come in handy. It can make the eyelashes look really clean. Really clean. So I'm gonna try and use it here. Then drawing the eye. What I like to do is the circle of this eye would match. Like it would be kind of like it won't be too big to where it would exceed this eyelid, because the eyelid, it's the lid for the entire eye, not just the circle here, but the actual entire eye. But I don't know, I think this works well. Maybe the entire eye would fit that. I think this should come back a bit. Maybe come back a lot. I don't know, it looks weird. Maybe I did something wrong. So yeah, that's how I draw the eye. I think it came out better than the other attempts. Of course, if you wanna just shade the top. So that's how I draw the eye. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was actually quite fun to make. So yeah, enjoy drawing anime bodies now. No else to say.